You're watching the News Centre. Here's a CNBC-TV18 exclusive. Mercedes-Benz India wants a clear 10-year roadmap of the GST on electric vehicles before the company can evaluate venturing into that arena. CEO Santosh Iyer told CNBC-TV18's Parikshit Luthra that such a foray looks difficult for the German carmaker in the absence of clarity. Enjoying a lower tax structure will be crucial for the company to assess its plans. Parikshit asked Iyer about his expectations from the union budget, which we now know is on the 23rd of July, as well as the growth runway for Mercedes-Benz India over the course of the year. Take a look.
It's the fastest growing markets, growing, as I said, this year for us, the forecast would be double-digit growth and surely is a fast growing across segments and, of course, more particularly in the top-end vehicle segment as well.
What kind of growth do you expect annually in the EV sales?
So for us, EV, I keep saying this, EV transformation is a marathon and not a sprint. From the last year's 2 to 3%, we have come to 5%. I think this will grow. It's dependent on multiple factors. One is the product offering from our segment. We had 3 EVs. Today, we launched the EQA and we are committing to 2 more EVs. Of course, they will all come in the top-end vehicle segment with a Maybach and maybe also with the electric G that we have opened up bookings. So a range of portfolio should increase penetration. The second big pillar is the government. There is incentive in terms of taxation when it comes to GSTs, but certain states offer zero registration taxes on EVs. Some states you have to pay, and therefore this also distorts demand as such because the on-road pricing changes. And the third, of course, is customer themselves. There is still some anxiety into this transformation, still a lot of questions among customers. There is a set of people, consumers who are ready to pay for sustainability and also they want to stand out. But it takes time. So for us, we are strategically focused and tactfully flexible. So we will have the full portfolio, combustion engine. When I talk about gasoline, clean diesels, on the other side, we will also have electrified portfolio and EVs. And we will then wait for the customer transformation to happen. So to answer precisely, again, there's no target that we need to achieve, but I think there is growth. And with more product, more offering, and more education to the customer, we surely feel the transformation will happen over a period of time.
Santosh, the Indian government had brought in a new electric car manufacturing policy offering duty concessions to companies who can put in $500 million of greenfield investment. Is Mercedes-Benz keen to apply for this policy because we believe it's going to be opened up very soon? Is this something that you're interested in?
For us in Mercedes-Benz, we have already invested in India. We have more than 3,000 crores that we have invested. We were the first to produce a luxury EV in India. And we are still looking at the entire market volumes and the development. But again, one of the key topics here, even for us to evaluate, is the long-term continuity when it comes to GST rates. Because to be honest, EVs are expensive technology. Today, we are able to price these cars very close to combustion engines because of the tax benefit on EVs. And thanks to the government for realizing it. But I think there should be a long-term commitment as well from the government for brands like us to further start the evaluation to check, because if this changes, the transition to electrification will be slow. So first we have to fix the market acceptance in terms of the right pricing, the right tax structure. Then comes the industrialization or the localization topic as the phase 2 of these discussions. So I think we are still trying to look at it, and maybe in this budget there is clear policy statements also from the government.
All right. So what kind of long-term stability in the GST or in the taxation rate would you expect? And what would actually allow you to positively consider the new electric car manufacturing policy? And would you want that older existing investments should also be considered? Would you be open to putting in a new greenfield investment?
I think, as I said, Parikshit, for us to start evaluating and whether there is a business sense in the entire investments, because there are some duty-free imports linked along with this as part of the policy. The starting point is the volume potential, and that only will come because these expensive cars, customers may not be ready to pay a significant premium when it comes to sustainability. We need to price them, as aggressively. And for that, the continuation, at least on a 10-year window, or maybe till the time the government feels a 30 or 40% penetration happens on EVs, they would continue these policies. I think that kind of a framework will start enabling brands like us to start evaluating first, because then we are assured that yes, if there are cars coming to the EVs coming to India, they can be priced at a certain price point, and then the next step is then to see the volume potential and see, do we need further investments? We have a huge manufacturing facility in Pune. Do we need to invest more now to produce those cars to cater to that demand? But that's, as I said, the phase 2 of this discussion. The phase 1 will be a clear commitment for a long-term, EV concession, not only the center, but even states. This is where I think the distortion on market pricing happens, because some states where we have EV penetration even today up to 8 to 10%, and in some states it's still struggling because there are no incentives when it comes to road tax. So the 48% GST or 50% GST, you add a 15-20% road tax, takes the total tax on cars to 65%. In EVs, wherever there is this benefit, it's only 5%. So this arbitrage really helps us to price EVs. Like we launched the EQA today, priced at 66 lakhs. The on-road price of a combustion engine counterpart is 61, 62 lakhs. So at least we are able to come closer, and that gives a better option for consumers to also shift to EV and a better sustainable mobility option.
Well, that's Santosh Iyer of Mercedes-Benz asking for a clear roadmap on what the GST rate will be for electric vehicles before they put in any fresh capacity. With that, it is time for us to wrap up this edition of the News Centre. More news and updates will continue right here on CNBC-TV18 after this short break. Don't go anywhere. We're back in a moment.
As the world warms, nature's sentinels will rise. As a billion hands will dig deep to write a new future for our planet.